The Grand Galactic Academy prided itself on being the most prestigious institution of higher learning in the known universe. Located in the Neutral Centauri system, it hosted students from over 300 species across dozens of galaxies. Its exchange program with Earth, however, was relatively new, only in its fifth year. Professor Tal, a blue-skinned Rigelian with 4 arms and compound eyes, stared at the announcement board with growing concern. The recreational department had organized what they called a terrestrial sports exhibition for the coming weekend. The human contingent, all 12 of them, had been suspiciously enthusiastic about it. "I don't understand the appeal," said Kryn, a gaseous entity from the Orion Nebula who maintained humanoid form through a gravitational field generator. "The data shows these activities are inefficient and dangerous." Professor Tal nodded. "The humans insisted it would promote cultural understanding. Director Zorix approved it without consulting me." 6 specialized arenas had been constructed around the Academy's central dome. For a week, the human students had been secretive, spending hours in these facilities, refusing to explain what they were preparing. Their excitement had infected the other students, and by Saturday morning, almost the entire student body had gathered to witness the event. Director Zorix, a crystalline being who communicated through light pulses, formally opened the exhibition. "Today, we celebrate diversity through competitive physical activities from Earth. Our human guests have assured me this is a fundamental aspect of their culture." The first arena featured something called basketball. 2 teams of 3 humans each appeared wearing different colored uniforms. A spherical object was introduced, and what followed left the alien spectators bewildered. The humans leaped, actually propelled themselves into the air with no technological assistance, reaching heights that seemed impossible given Earth's gravity. They moved with startling speed, passing the ball with precision that suggested some form of telepathic coordination. "Are they using enhancement tech?" asked Frem, a tentacled student from an aquatic world. Professor Tal checked his scanner. "No. This is natural human ability." Even more shocking was the stamina displayed. The game lasted 40 minutes, and the humans maintained their pace throughout, their bodies glistening with a self-cooling mechanism. The xenobiologists helped sweat. The second arena featured gymnastics. A human female named Alex approached an apparatus and began a series of maneuvers that defied biological logic. Her body twisted, rotated, and contorted in ways that made several exoskeletal spectators wince audibly. "That should be anatomically impossible," whispered Kryn. "Her bone structure should fracture under those forces." Professor Tal had no explanation. The display continued with 5 other humans performing similarly impossible feats on different apparatus. The audience was silent, processing the implications of what they were witnessing. In the third arena, something called swimming took place. Humans propelled themselves through water without breathing apparatus, moving at speeds that rivaled some aquatic species. "Their respiratory system can function without oxygen for extended periods," noted Vrin with professional interest, "and their muscle density allows efficient movement through liquid medium." By the fourth arena, track and field, the alien students had begun to understand they were witnessing something extraordinary. A human male named Tom accelerated to speeds approaching the lower limits of vehicular transport on many worlds. Another human threw a metal sphere a distance that would require launching assistance on most planets. The fifth arena featured weightlifting, which drew stunned silence from the crowd. The human participants lifted masses that would crush many of the spectators, their muscular systems straining but not failing. "Their strength-to-mass ratio exceeds military-grade exoskeletons," muttered a silicon-based student from Betelgeuse. The final arena showcased something called Rugby, which appeared to be ritualized combat. 15 humans collided repeatedly at full speed, enduring impacts that would hospitalize most species. They continued despite injuries that produced red fluid leakage. When the exhibition concluded, the assembled alien students remained silent, processing what they had witnessed. Director Zorix's light pulses seemed dimmer than usual. "I believe we may have underestimated our human guests," Professor Tal said quietly. "They come from a high-gravity death world, with atmospheric oxygen levels toxic to many species. Their physical capabilities are concerning. The human students gathered in the center dome for refreshments, seemingly unaware of the impact their demonstration had made. They laughed and compared minor injuries as if they were inconsequential. The following day, applications to shared dormitories with human students dropped by 70%. Conversely, enrollment in xenobiology courses focusing on human physiology reached capacity within hours. Professor Tal found himself surrounded by faculty members seeking answers. Are they natural or engineered? Asked the quantum physics instructor. Natural, Tal replied. Earth evolved these capabilities through environmental pressure. But the implications, yes, Tal agreed. The Galactic Council classified Earth as a Class 13 deaf world. We'd assumed the humans were surviving through technology. It appears their biology itself is the technology. In the library, Prin accessed the restricted files on Earth's military history. What he found kept him in a state of molecular agitation for days. Director Zorix called an emergency meeting of the faculty. We must revisit our approach to human integration. They are not fragile refugees from a harsh world. They are apex predators who conquered that world. The human contingent remained oblivious to the silent recalibration occurring around them. They continued attending classes, participating in discussions about interstellar physics and comparative philosophy. But the next time a human student stretched in class or carried a heavy load without assistance, the alien students noticed and remembered and wondered what other capabilities these seemingly friendly apes might be hiding. Earth had been invited to join the Galactic Council next year. After the sports exhibition, several faculty members privately suggested accelerating that timeline, just to be safe.